All right, in this lab, we're going to take a look at bucket metadata and how to edit it using the Cloud Console. So what we're going to do is take a look at our cloud storage browser here, and then we can select the bucket that we're interested in. And now the metadata of the bucket is going to be hidden here under the tabs. So the first one that we're going to take a look at is the configuration tab. And here we can see that we have two different types of metadata available. Fixed metadata, like the creation timestamp, and then changeable metadata, like, for example, the default storage class. They're marked by this pen icon over here. And this is the way that we could now change the default storage class. Note that this does not change the storage class of the content of the bucket. Instead of that, it just defines the default storage class for any new objects that are uploaded after we have changed this. The next thing we can change here is requester pays. That's an easy on-off type of selection. If we set up requester pays, then we will forward any charges for accessing the data to the requester of that data, right? So then basically, if this is on, also the requester needs to, when they request data from our bucket, to say that they're accepting the charges. And naturally, they cannot be anonymous. They will have to have a Google Cloud account of their own. Next one is called labels. And this is the part where we can add our own metadata, right? So we could write department, let's make it lowercase, department finance, for example, in here, and then stage production, right? So this is metadata that we can add to the bucket ourselves. And then that is, of course, queryable in different kinds of other services, or then using the CLI if we want to do some scripting and we want to do some actions regarding a particular subset of buckets that we're interested in. Then we can see some helper functions here. So we have the Cloud Console URL over here. If we need to share the bucket for other users in the browser, this is a URL they could use to access the bucket. It's the same one that we're using right now. And then we have the GSUtil URI in here as well. We can copy paste that over into the CLI if we're using GSUtil. Further on, we have some access control metadata here that we will be talking about separately in a separate lecture, and then encryption metadata that we will also handle separately. In the permissions phase, we can see whether public access is available or not. This was a new feature that is in preview currently. Otherwise, we can see all of the permissions here, and like I said, that's going to be handled in a separate lecture. Then we have protection. So here we can set up object versioning, a retention policy, and event-based hold. Again, all handled in separate lectures. And then here we have the lifecycle rules, which you also have a separate lecture on. But yeah, that's how to edit metadata using the Cloud Storage Console.